The end of the world. It's a phrase that sends shivers down our spines, conjuring images of desolation and despair. It's a concept that has fascinated humanity for centuries. From the ancient Mayans to Nostradamus, countless cultures and individuals have predicted the end times. We are drawn to stories of destruction, chaos, and the unknown. The idea of everything we know being turned upside down is both terrifying and thrilling. From ancient myths to modern blockbusters, the apocalypse has captivated our imaginations. Movies like Mad Max and The Road paint vivid pictures of a world gone awry. But why? What is it about the end of the world that we find so compelling? Is it the sheer drama of it all or something deeper? Perhaps it's the thrill of the unknown, the adrenaline rush of imagining ourselves in a world turned upside down. The idea of starting anew in a world without rules can be strangely appealing. Maybe it's the chance to explore our deepest fears and confront the fragility of our existence. In these stories we see our vulnerabilities laid bare. Whatever the reason, apocalyptic stories offer a glimpse into the darkest corners of our collective psyche. They allow us to explore scenarios that, while terrifying, also offer a form of catharsis. These stories are not just about destruction, however. They also highlight the resilience of the human spirit. They are also about resilience, about the strength of the human spirit in the face of unimaginable adversity. In the midst of chaos, we see acts of kindness, bravery, and solidarity. They force us to confront fundamental questions about what it means to be alive, what we value most, and what we are willing to fight for. These stories make us reflect on our own lives and priorities. So, buckle up and prepare to explore the epic tales of the apocalypse, stories that will not only blow your mind but also make you think about the world and our place in it in a whole new light. As we delve into these narratives, we might just find that the end of the world is not an end at all, but a beginning of a new understanding of ourselves and our world. In the aftermath of destruction, there is always a glimmer of hope. Nature reclaims, communities rebuild, and life finds a way to continue. These stories remind us that even in the darkest times, there is always a chance for renewal and rebirth. The end, it seems, is not as final as it appears. It is a transition, a transformation, and perhaps a necessary step towards a better future. So, as we journey through these tales of apocalypse, let us also find the hope and resilience that lies within each story. From raging fires to devastating earthquakes, nature has a way of reminding us just how small and insignificant we really are. The sheer force of these natural events can be both awe-inspiring and terrifying, leaving us to ponder our place in the grand scheme of things. Wildfires, for instance, can spread with alarming speed, consuming everything in their path and leaving behind a trail of destruction. The smoke-filled skies serve as a grim reminder of the power of nature's wrath. In apocalyptic fiction, Mother Nature often takes center stage, unleashing her fury on an unsuspecting world. These stories tap into our deepest fears, portraying scenarios where humanity is at the mercy of uncontrollable natural forces. Tornadoes tearing through cities, floods destroying homes, and stormy skies filled with ominous clouds create a sense of impending doom. The unpredictability of these events adds to the tension, making us question our ability to withstand such calamities. Imagine a world where the ground beneath our feet is no longer stable, where earthquakes rip apart cities and volcanoes erupt with terrifying power. The very foundation of our existence is shaken, and the once solid ground becomes a source of fear. Buildings collapse, roads crack open, and the landscape is forever altered. Volcanic eruptions add another layer of danger, spewing ash and lava that can bury entire towns. The chaos and destruction are almost unimaginable, yet these scenarios are not entirely far-fetched. This is the reality depicted in films like 2012 and San Andreas, where massive natural disasters reshape the planet and leave humanity struggling to survive. These movies dramatize the catastrophic impact of earthquakes, tsunamis, and other natural phenomena, showing us a world in turmoil. The visual effects bring these disasters to life, making us feel the urgency and desperation of the characters as they navigate a world turned upside down. The chaos and destruction serve as a stark warning of what could happen if we fail to respect the power of nature. But it's not just earthquakes and volcanoes we have to worry about. The aftermath of these events can be just as devastating, with landslides destroying roads and volcanic ash covering cities. Emergency responders work tirelessly to save lives and restore order, but the challenges are immense. The resilience of the human spirit is tested as communities come together to rebuild and recover. The long-term effects of these disasters can be felt for years, altering the course of people's lives and reshaping entire regions. Climate change, a very real threat, has become a popular theme in apocalyptic fiction, forcing us to confront the potential consequences of our actions. Drought-stricken landscapes, melting glaciers, and extreme weather events are not just the stuff of fiction, they are happening right now. The impact of climate change is far-reaching, affecting ecosystems, economies, and human health. The stories we tell about these issues serve as a wake-up call, urging us to take action before it's too late. Movies like The Day After Tomorrow and Waterworld depict a world ravaged by extreme weather events where rising sea levels and catastrophic storms have reshaped the planet. These films explore the dire consequences of climate change, showing us a future where humanity must adapt to survive. Flooded cities and storms battering coastlines create a sense of urgency, highlighting the need for immediate action. The dramatic visuals and compelling narratives drive home the message that we cannot afford to ignore the signs of a changing climate. These stories serve as a stark reminder of the awesome power of nature and the importance of respecting the delicate balance of our planet. The beauty and majesty of natural landscapes are juxtaposed with the destructive force of natural disasters, reminding us of the dual nature of our environment. Scenes of recovery after disasters show the resilience and determination of people to rebuild and move forward. Ultimately, these narratives inspire us to cherish and protect our planet, recognizing that our survival depends on maintaining harmony with the natural world. Sometimes the deadliest threats are the ones we can't even see. These invisible enemies can lurk in the air we breathe, the surfaces we touch, and the people we interact with daily. They can strike without warning, leaving devastation in their wake. Pandemics, with their ability to spread silently and swiftly, have long been a source of fear and fascination. The very nature of a pandemic, its ability to cross borders and affect millions, makes it a compelling subject for both fiction and reality. The fear of the unknown, the unseen, and the uncontrollable drives our collective anxiety. In a world increasingly interconnected, the idea of a deadly virus sweeping across the globe is all too real. Our modern lifestyle, with its constant travel and dense urban populations, creates the perfect conditions for a virus to spread rapidly. The global nature of our society means that an outbreak in one part of the world can quickly become a worldwide crisis. Books and films like The Stand by Stephen King and Contagion offer chillingly realistic portrayals of pandemics, exploring the social, economic, and political chaos that can unfold when a deadly disease takes hold. These stories delve into the human psyche, showing how fear can lead to panic, and how societies can crumble under the weight of a pandemic. We see how quickly society can break down, how fear and paranoia can drive people to extreme measures. The rush to hoard supplies, the empty supermarket shelves, and the desperation in people's eyes are all too familiar scenes. These narratives show us the fragility of our social structures and the thin veneer of civilization. These stories often highlight the importance of scientific knowledge and the need for global cooperation in the face of a common enemy. The role of scientists, healthcare workers, and international organizations becomes crucial in managing and mitigating the impact of a pandemic. They remind us that science and collaboration are our best defenses against these invisible threats. They remind us that in the fight against a pandemic, we are all in this together. The collective effort of individuals, communities, and nations is essential in overcoming such crises. Acts of kindness, solidarity, and mutual support become the pillars that hold society together during these challenging times. The recent COVID-19 pandemic has shown us that these fictional scenarios are not so far-fetched after all. The global response, the race for a vaccine, and the public health measures implemented worldwide have mirrored the plots of many pandemic-themed stories. It has been a stark reminder of our vulnerability and the need for preparedness in the face of such threats. The lessons learned from this pandemic will hopefully guide us in better handling future outbreaks, ensuring that we are more resilient and better equipped to face the challenges ahead. What if the greatest threat to humanity isn't a natural disaster or a deadly virus, but ourselves? Many apocalyptic stories explore the dark side of human nature, depicting worlds torn apart by war, greed, and our own capacity for destruction. From the nuclear wasteland of Mad Max to the post-apocalyptic societies of The Hunger Games and Divergent, these stories paint a grim picture of what can happen when humanity turns on itself. They explore themes of power, oppression, and the fight for survival in a world where the rules have been broken. These stories serve as a cautionary tale, reminding us of the dangers of unchecked ambition, the importance of empathy and compassion, and the need to work together to build a better future.